Well, hello there, everyone. My name is Damaris, and I'm your host for the day. Welcome to Water's Edge Church Online. We're so excited that you decided to join us on this Easter Sunday. It's Easter, y'all, and if you're new around here, we would love for you to let us know. We're gonna post a digital connection card in the comments below, so simply fill that out and someone will be in touch with you this week. We would also love to extend the opportunity for you to meet us virtually immediately after the service in what we call the Blue Room. It's going to be a virtual experience that we've created for anyone that's new. Now, listen to how cool this is. It's actually a Zoom call where you can meet the staff and have any of your questions answered. So we'll be doing this as soon as the service is over. So make sure that you're keeping an eye out for that link that's going to be in the comments as well. Now, if you are wearing your Easter PJs and you don't really want to be in the video, that's okay. You can just tune in via audio. So just turn on your audio, join us in the Blue Room. Make sure you stick around to the very end of the service for that experience. Now, last week, we asked everyone to go ahead and take a selfie and share a picture of your selfie on social media. So we can't get together in a building, but we can still share our Easter outfits. Now, I'm gonna go through some of the ones that you guys submitted last week. Now, here's one. She's definitely got the right idea. She's got the fuzzy socks, the hot chocolate, while watching from her laptop. It's amazing. Now, this looks perfect. Now, here's another one. He looks like he is having a lot of fun watching the service. Okay, one more. This next person had a buddy snuggling with him on the couch. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. It's so much fun. Well, we want to help you make the most out of your online viewing experience. So I've asked the campus pastors to give us a few tips and tricks, and we actually had them gather their families in their homes for this part. So first, we're gonna head over to Pastor Ben's house.
Well, thanks, Damaris. Well, my name is Ben. I am the Yorktown campus pastor. It's so great to be with you. I have my beautiful wife, Carolyn, my son, Austin, and my daughter, Lene. And I tell you, it's so awesome to be with you. We are actually at home today, joining you today. And I just want to say it's so awesome to be with you. And today, I want to challenge you to do something. The first challenge is going to be, I need you to go ahead and just share this experience right now online on social media. Go ahead and just share it, because we know whoever's going to be watching it is going to have an incredible time, an incredible experience with us here today. And number two, go ahead and take out your phones if you don't already, and go ahead and grab them. So go ahead and take out your phones. I know all of us, we have a couple friends in our lives that we can invite. So right now, take out your phones and invite two people right now. Two people that you can say, you know what, I want to invite these two to join us here today, because we know that the message of Easter can bring hope to a world, particularly today, but also we want to change the way people think about church, and you simply texting two people, we can do that. And so it's going to be an incredible time today. And I'm going to turn it over to my good friend, Davey, who wants to give you another tip on how to experience church online.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Davey Saunders. I'm a campus pastor for our Williamsburg campus. I'm here with my beautiful wife, Tammy.
Hi, we're so glad you've decided to join us today for our Easter services.
You know what? We want to make the most, or help you make the most out of your viewing experience here. So what we suggest is that you join in the chat. Engage in the chat. Listen, if you're watching from like a platform to where that it allows chat, let us know you're here, because that will help the whole experience. You know, a lot of us have been missing that human-to-human interaction because we've been in quarantine. And I'd like to encourage you to engage with us virtually. You know, we have chat hosts that can answer any questions that you have. They're here to help us. So in the service, if you're listening to Pastor Stu and he says something you like, give us a thumbs up, or maybe even during worship, you can give some praise hands. You know, you might even see somebody in the chat that you know. We just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us today. And now we're going to turn it over to Matt to give us our final points of how you can make the most of your online viewing experience.
Hey, thanks, Davey. Well, if we haven't met yet, my name is Matt Hoover, and I'm the campus pastor at our Newport News campus, and this is my incredible family. We've got little Kai right here, we've got Winnie Rose, we've got Cruz, Maverick, and my incredible and beautiful wife, Susan, and welcome to our home. We're so excited to celebrate Easter with you here today. One final tip to make this Easter an incredible experience is do what we're doing. Grab your family, get comfy, and get ready to have an incredible Easter experience with Water's Edge. Hey, we're gonna play a fun game during the service. Guess what? The whole family is gonna absolutely love it. So grab a blanket, grab some coffee, get some juice for the kids, kick back, relax, and let's enjoy Easter together. Hey, that's it from our family to yours. Damaris, right back at you.
Thank you, campus pastors, for giving us those tips on how to make the most out of our online viewing experience. Okay, this next part is for all the parents watching. We have something super special for your kiddos, and it's called the Easter Jam. That's right. So if you head to watersedgechurch.net/kidsonline, we have an awesome Easter Jam video and activities for you guys to do together as a family. Now, it may involve peeps in the microwave, but who doesn't love a good old marshmallow in the microwave? Am I right? So make sure that you check that out today to enjoy a kids' Easter Jam experience. In fact, did you know that each week we add new videos, new activities, and new lessons for you to do with your kids each week? Just because they can't make it into our environments doesn't mean that they can't still have fun with our kids team and learn some Bible lessons. So now I want to talk to you guys about one more super important thing that you need to know about. You need to know that our church is making a big difference in the community. Now, a few weeks ago, when COVID-19 started making headlines and we had to make adjustments to our daily lives, our team sat down and agreed that we wanted to help however we could. So we developed this website called COVIDcare757.com, where you can go to request prayer or assistance or help with running errands or whatever it may be. Now, to date, we've had 8,700 hits to the webpage. Guys, that's crazy. And I want to tell you that as a church, we've really stepped up to meet the needs of the people in our community. 150 of you have signed up to volunteer, and those volunteers have helped meet 165 needs in our community. How amazing is that? We've donated hundreds of gloves and sanitizing wipes. We've made masks and dozens of baskets to be delivered to local hospitals and doctor's office. And we've donated 2,000 water bottles to local homeless ministries. So we've collected food as well to local food pantries, and we're not even done yet. So I want you guys to go ahead and take a look at the things that we've been doing just this past week.
What's up, church? Eddie Angel here. I'm the pastor of missions here at Water's Edge, and we are at the Doctors Hospital in Williamsburg. It's a Riverside hospital, and we are getting ready to feed every single staff member here. That's over 160 members of the staff here at the hospital, and we're really doing this because they're first responders. They're on the front lines of caring for folks affected by COVID-19, and we just want to make sure that we love on them and make sure they know that we're here, we love them, and that we want to encourage them as well. And it's because of your generous giving that we're able to partner with organizations like KFC and make this happen. So thank you, and we're so excited to be a part of what God's doing around the peninsula here.
We are Riverside. That is so cool. I love that so much. So go ahead and do me a favor and keep sharing COVIDcare757.com with all the people in your community. And if you're interested in helping to meet a need, just head to that website and fill it out on the form. Again, if you're just joining us, my name is Damaris, and I'm thrilled that you've decided to join us this Easter Sunday. We're about to get started, so go ahead and sit back and get ready to engage in some singing and enjoy your Water's Edge experience.
My name is Joseph. I come from the Judean town of Arimathea. I was there on the night that the rabbi, the one named Jesus, was arrested and brought to trial. I'm a member of the Sanhedrin Council, and I heard the full account. He arrived in our world with an uncommon entrance. Born of a virgin, born in a manger. He was mostly a stranger to us until he was announced by John the Baptist, welcomed as the long-awaited Messiah, now here, the one whom Moses and the prophets had been writing about for 4,000 years. He's not like other rabbis. He's made crippled men walk. He's made blind women see. He's made deaf children hear. He's made lepers clean. He's fed thousands of people on a hillside with only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. I don't understand this. But now I've heard the full account of this man named Jesus. He's been teaching in our temples. He's dined with our vagabonds and sinners. A woman washed his feet with her tears, and he had the audacity to forgive her. His deeds are as exceptional as his words. When our friend Lazarus had died, Jesus went to the grave and told him, "Come out." And now I've seen Lazarus myself. I've seen him alive. What is the charge against this man? Healing on the Sabbath? What sacred scripture? What law has he broken? Where is the evidence? The offense? Will we crucify a man with no sin? So I dissented from the decision, as did my friend Nicodemus. But the Sanhedrin took him to Pilate anyway, and they tortured him and they murdered him on a cross. My name is Joseph of Arimathea, and none of it seemed right to me. So after he was dead, we took down the body. We wrapped it in linens. Myself and Nicodemus and some of the rabbi's disciples who were women. I refused to bury him like a criminal. He had no tomb, so I offered up mine. We took him to the garden. We put him in the cave, and we sealed it with a stone. And the entire time, I wondered, I feared the truth of everything this Jesus had claimed. This was not just a man in a tomb. It was God in my grave. That was on Friday. But then, Sunday, the word traveled to me quickly. Some of the women had gone down to the garden. The Roman soldiers who had been there to guard the grave were struck down. The stone was rolled away. The body was gone, and there was only one set of footprints on the ground. Then came the reports. Jesus meeting with Simon Peter. Jesus meeting with Mary Magdalene. Jesus meeting with the disciples and eating breakfast on the shore. Jesus meeting with the 2 men on the road to Emmaus, and then to his brother James, and then to hundreds and hundreds more. Jesus was dead. I saw the spear, the water, the blood, but now he is living, breathing, speaking, eating, proving he is who he said he was. I buried him myself, but now I've seen where he lay, and there is nothing left. Jesus scorned the shame of the cross, and he is trampled over death. My name is Joseph of Arimathea, and this is the account of what I've seen. Jesus died, was buried, and rose again, and now my grave is empty.
It is done, it is finished, Christ has won, he is risen, grace is here, love has triumphed over death. Forever it is done, it is finished, Christ has won, he is risen, grace is here, love has triumphed over death. Forever strongholds bowing to the Savior, resurrection power over every circumstance. His word stands final and forever.
world. In fact, if you're chatting with us in the comments, go ahead and let us know where you're viewing this from. Well, my name is Damaris, and I hope that you're enjoying your Water's Edge experience. In fact, if you're new to Water's Edge, why don't you let us know? We have a digital connection card in the comments, and you can just fill that out, and then someone will contact you this week. And we'd also love the opportunity to meet you virtually. So immediately after the service, we'll be posting a link to our virtual Zoom that we like to call the Blue Room. Now, the Blue Room is for anyone that's new, and it gives you the opportunity to meet the staff and have any of your questions answered. So we'd love for you to join that right after the service. Join us in the Blue Room for just a few moments. Now, kids, this next part is for you. Parents, if your kids aren't in the room, go ahead and make sure that they're in here for this part. We're going to have a little bit of fun. All right, so kids, make sure you're standing up. Make sure you got a little bit of space between you. Go ahead and get up off that couch. Get really close to the screen because we're going to play a game that I like to call 1 ear, 2 ears, tail. We're going to pretend to be bunnies. It's going to be so much fun. All right, so here's how the game works. You're going to see some pictures of a bunny on the screen, and it's either going to have 1 ear, 2 ears, or no ears, because he's just showing his tail. And you're going to choose your pose. Now, there's going to flip through the images, and if it lands on the pose that you have, then that means you're out, and you'll sit down. But if you're still standing, then you'll be able to continue into the second round where we'll determine the winner. Okay, are you guys ready? Go ahead and pick your pose. I've got 1 ear. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Oh man, I've got 1 ear. I'm matching the screen. So if you've got 1 ear too, you are out. Go ahead and have a seat. But if you're still standing, you can still win. So we're going to play our second round. Go ahead and pick your second pose. All righty. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh man, that's 1 ear again. So if you picked 1 ear that time, you're out. But if you're still standing, that means you're the winner. Congratulations. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. Thanks for playing with me, guys. Well, this next part of the service is going to be absolutely incredible. I'm so excited to share it with you. We really wanted to involve you guys in the service. So we reached out to you and asked you to send in recordings of you singing this next song. And the great part is that we put all of your voices together to make a choir. And I'm so excited to introduce to you Water's Edge Church's very first virtual choir.
You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you.
Darkness, light on.
promise keep, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are.
Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. 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 That is who
That is the message of Easter. Happy Easter, everybody. We're so thrilled that you've joined us. And that message is true of our hearts and lives today, that the same God who made a way some 2,000 years ago when he rolled the stone away and Jesus rose from the grave, that same God's still making a way today. He's making a way in your life. He's making a way for your family. He's making a way even in these challenging, difficult times that we find ourselves in today. And I know it's hard to see it. I get it. It's difficult in these circumstances to see how God is working. But I want you to know today that wherever you are, you may be sitting in your living room surrounded by your family, or you may be sitting in a hospital room today all alone. But I have enough faith today to believe that God is making a way for you, that he's making a way through your sickness, that he's making a way through your depression, that he's making a way through your anxiety, through your panic, through your trouble, through your challenge, that he's making a way through your brokenness and through your sorrow and even through your grief today. Jesus is making a way, and it's not just what he does. It is who he is. He is the waymaker. And I'm telling you today that you can experience that in your heart and in your life. And I know sitting on the couch, it's hard to engage in moments like these. This Easter looks different than any of us would have ever dreamed it might. But I want to just challenge you for just a moment. Would you just crank up the volume a little bit? You know what I mean? Would you turn it up? Come on, Water's Edge style. I'm talking about getting loud, because here's what I know. That praise creates the atmosphere for a breakthrough. And I don't want us to get to the end of this Easter Sunday and look back and wish we would have praised him more, or we would have praised him louder, or we would have engaged in the moment. So I know it's a challenge today. I know it's different today, but I wonder, for just a few moments, would you create the atmosphere of praise right there where you are? I dare you to set off the atmosphere, in your living room, and let faith rise up through your voice. And if you today need the waymaker to make a way for you, if you need him to make a way in your life or through your circumstances, even in the middle of a quarantine, Hey, even in the middle of COVID-19, our God is making a way today. And I wonder, would you just let it rise from your heart and from your mouth? And would you just declare it today? That even when I don't see it, come on, he's still working. Just let it rise from you.
When I don't feel that you're working, you never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel that you're working, you never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. We believe you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. 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 That is who you are, Lord. That is who you are. That is who you are. That is who you are. That is who you are.
That's who he is today. And I believe it, and I believe it for your heart and for your life. And I'll tell you what, I'm so thrilled that you've joined us for this Easter celebration. When I was growing up, we had this little tradition. On Easter Sunday in the church I would go to, the preacher would stand up and he would announce, he would say, "He is risen." And then all of us in the church, all of us would respond back with our voices. We would respond back and we would say, "He is risen indeed." And I don't know why today I feel like maybe I just need a little tradition in my life on this Easter. So, this is where it gets a little awkward, maybe a little weird, because because there ain't nobody here. All right, can I just tell you that? Like it's just me and the band. That's it. That's all I got to work with today. But I've learned that you work with what you got. And so I think we ought to try this just for tradition's sake. It's worth a try. And so if you're sitting at home today and you got family around you, you work with what you got, all right? You work with them. And if you're joining us live right now, you've got the chat window. So you can actually respond in the chat window. Band, I'm gonna ask you to respond, all right? I'm gonna need you. We're gonna try this out. I'm gonna say "He is risen," and then you're gonna respond with "He is risen indeed." And you can actually say it with a little bit of enthusiasm, all right? A little bit of excitement right there. Just say it to each other, say it back to the screen, type it in all caps if you want to in the chat window. Let's try it together, can we? He is risen. He is risen indeed. Come on, you can do better than that. Let's try it one more time. He is risen. He is risen indeed. That's awesome. Come on, let me pray for you on this Easter. Father, we are grateful to gather literally all over the world today, in homes and in backyards and in hospital rooms. We recognize on this Easter Sunday that you are still making ways. That in places that we thought there could be no way, you will make a way in our hearts and in our lives. We put our faith and trust in that truth today. We rely on you to speak to our hearts now and to reveal new and exciting things to us about you and about your love for us and about the future you have planned for us. We're trusting you, God, and our hearts are open now to receive from you. We thank you that Jesus is risen from the grave. He's alive. and he's alive in me today. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Well, guys, it is an incredible honor, literally, to be with you on this Easter Sunday. And I'm so incredibly excited that you've joined us. And like I prayed, literally, you've joined us from all over the world, which is so awesome. In fact, over the last couple of weeks, as we've been online and like this, we've had people joining us from states all across the nation. I think last week we were in 23 or 24 different states and almost as many countries. And so if you're chatting along, tell us where you're joining us from. We'd love to know. And I normally on Easter Sunday say something like this. I normally say, "Oh, you look so good," right? That's like one of my lead-in lines for Easter Sunday. And the reality is, I'm not going to say that today because probably some of you don't look all that good. Can I just tell you? I mean, this is the one Sunday where nobody gets dressed up for Easter, right? You just maybe rolled out of bed, or you just came in from working in the yard. However you are, I'm so thrilled you're here, and wherever you are, I'm so honored that you're a part of it. I'm really honored you invited us into your living room or around your kitchen table. It's kind of weird to say this, but I guess I'm even glad if you invited us into your bedroom. All right, that sounds weird, but I'm so thrilled you're joining us today. And I want to just give one special shout out, if I can. And I just want to say to the men at the Indian Creek Correctional Center how much we love you guys. How thrilled we are that you're joining us today. We've missed you over these last couple of weeks, but I'm so excited that the first message you're hearing in quarantine is a message of resurrection hope and resurrection power. And we love you, and we believe God's best for you and really for our entire Water's Edge family. I just want to tell you how much Tabitha, my wife, and I, and our entire family, we love you. We're praying for you during this season. And we really know that though this Easter is unique, it's different, it looks completely different than we ever thought it might, we actually believe that this Easter has the potential to be our best, most meaningful, most special Easter ever. And I want to tell you why today. I want to teach you why with a little simple Easter message that I'm just calling Flip the Switch. Flip the switch. Now, if you got teenagers at home, then you know what I'm referring to. You get the reference. I've got 3 teenagers at home, two girls, and around our house, we understand flip the switch is taken from TikTok, and there's a lot of TikTok happening at our house right now. I know some of y'all are looking around like, what's the TikToks? I get it. So let me explain it to you, okay? It's like a social media app that all the kids are on these days. I sound like a really old guy right now, don't I? But it is it's a social media app where people do these cool little dances to short little clips of music, and it's all the rave. I mean, everybody's loving TikTok. And there's this one dance that's famous right now on TikTok that inspired this message. It's called Flip the Switch. And the way it works is 2 people are in the shot doing this little dance. Both of them are kind of doing their own little dance moves, you know what I'm saying? I know, I'm dating myself. I'm sorry. But they're doing their own little dance moves, and then they cut off the lights. They flip the switch. They cut off the lights. And then when they flip the switch back on and the lights come back on, they've swapped places to the point that they're now wearing each other's clothes and they're doing each other's dance moves. They flipped the switch. And that really is what inspired this simple little Easter message. Flip the switch. Because here's what I believe. That for somebody's life on this Easter Sunday, Jesus is going to flip the switch. He's going to take the lights down and right back up. And in a moment's time, before you even really know what's happened, you're going to see that Jesus has changed it all in a moment. He's going to flip the switch in your life. In fact, I've broken this message down into 2 parts, two simple little parts. I did it intentionally because I want it to be a message that's easy for you to follow along at home. Because I know for some of you right now, kids are like throwing toys across the room. And others of you, you're sitting there on the couch, but off in the distance is the Easter basket that your kid got this morning, and in it is a Reese peanut butter egg. Come on, those are amazing. And so you're feeling the temptation right now. You're like being drawn away from the screen to the little egg. And I'm just saying, resist the temptation. I've given you a real easy message to follow along. 2 parts. And the first part is just what I'm calling this: stuck on Friday. That's part 1. Stuck on Friday. In fact, you can turn it into a question if you'd like. If you're sitting around some people, you can ask the question, or you can type it in the chat window. You can say, "Are you stuck on Friday? Are you? Do you feel stuck on Friday?" You can give me a little thumbs up emoji if you do. Anybody feel stuck on Friday? Now I get it. Typically, I understand that Friday is like our favorite day of the week, right? I mean, Friday's where it's at. Friday's the day we strive for. TGIF, right? It kind of makes me want some unlimited boneless wings from Fridays. Is that even a thing now? Unlimited apps? I don't know. But Friday's usually the goal day, except when you're in quarantine, right? Except when you're in lockdown, except when you're working from home and your kids are out of school, stuck at home, and you've resorted to hiding in your bedroom closet just for a little peace and quiet. Come on, you know who you are. Because now, Friday feels a whole lot like Thursday, doesn't it? And it kind of feels like Wednesday, and Friday feels a little bit like Tuesday, too. Especially when you wake up on Friday and you put on the exact same clothes you put on the day before. That doesn't help it at all, does it? Kind of feels like you're stuck on Friday. In fact, one of my kids the other day, they exclaimed proudly, like announced, "Hey, I took a shower today." Like that was some major accomplishment. We are stuck on Friday. The Friday I'm talking about, obviously, is the significance of Good Friday. And 2 different things happened on Good Friday that I think today you and I can relate to. Why don't you jot these down? Here's the first one. First of all, on Good Friday, everything went dark. The lights went out in the world on Good Friday. Like the world was covered by darkness on Good Friday. Speaking about Good Friday, the Bible describes it like this. It says, "At noon, darkness fell across the whole land." On Friday, it was dark. And here's the second thing that happened on Good Friday. Jesus died. On Friday, it was dark and Jesus died. Now, of course, we now have the benefit of knowing the rest of the story, right? We now know that his death was our victory, but I can promise you this, that on that Friday so long ago, it did not feel like a victory. I can promise you that on that Friday, there was nothing good about it. The Bible describes that moment like this. It says, "Then Jesus uttered another loud cry, and he breathed his last. And it was dark, and Jesus was dead, and the world felt stuck on Friday." And I actually think that's how a whole lot of us feel today. I think a lot of us feel like we're stuck, living in Friday's darkness, living with Friday's death. Probably for most of us, there's never been a time in our life before that we've felt death and darkness like we feel it today. Come on, it's okay to be honest. You feel the heaviness. You feel the weight. You feel the burden. You feel the anxiety. You feel the pressure. We all do. In our world, right now there's death. In our world right now, there's darkness. There's unsettledness. There's fear. There's frustration. There's uncertainty. There's sickness. It feels like Friday, like there's death and darkness. And it might be the darkness of your finances, or it might be the death of a business opportunity. It might be the darkness of depression, or it might be the death of a relationship. It might be the darkness of loneliness or anxiety or panic attacks or depression, or it might be the death of dreams and plans and hopes for the future. And we all feel it. If you're a high school senior, you feel it. If you're a grandmother quarantined at home, you feel it. If you're a business owner, you feel it. If you're an elementary school teacher, separated from your kids, you feel it. If you're a parent, you feel it. If you're a child, you feel it. If you're a doctor or a nurse or a truck driver, you feel it. We all feel the darkness and death of Friday. Kind of like we're stuck there. And that's part one of this message. Stuck on Friday. But aren't you glad that there's a part two? I mean, really. Up to this point, this message has not been very encouraging. This message has not been very inspiring. It's kind of been a little bit heavy. A little bit weighty. This message has felt maybe a little bit depressing, kind of gnarly up to this point. But there is a part two to the message. If part one is called Stuck on Friday, then I want you to know today that you can flip the switch, come on, and you can move to part two, which is what I'm calling Living on Sunday. That's part two of the message. That's the day, by the way, that the switch was flipped. Oh, there's darkness and there's death on Friday, but you don't have to stay stuck on Friday because Sunday is here. Let me show you what happens when the switch gets flipped and we move from Friday to Sunday. Let me show you the difference that Sunday makes, because on Sunday, look at this, the sun shines again. Come on, somebody. The sun shines on Sunday. I'm speaking hope into your living room right now. I'm speaking hope into your situation right now, because there is a brighter day coming. There's a new day dawning. The sun shines on Sunday. And if the darkness of Friday is what you're feeling today, I want you to know that that darkness can be overwhelmed by the light of Sunday. The world went dark on Friday. So let me show you what the scriptures say just a few verses later. The Bible says, but early or very early on Sunday morning, just at sunrise, they went to the tomb. You know the story. Come on, you give me a little sunshine emoji in the window if you want to, because boy, the sun came out on Sunday. The light overwhelmed the darkness. Jesus, he flipped the switch, and the sun is shining. And I want you to see what happened when they came to the tomb. Here's what the Bible says they found when they arrived. It says when they entered the tomb, they saw a young man. He was clothed in a white robe, sitting at the right side. And the women who came, they were shocked. But the angel said, don't be alarmed. You're looking for Jesus of Nazareth, who was crucified on Friday. He isn't here on Sunday. He is risen from the dead. On Friday, Jesus died, but on Sunday, Jesus is alive. Jesus is risen, and you can say it right back if you want to. He is risen indeed. He's alive, because the switch from Friday to Sunday was flipped and a brighter day has come. And this is the message of Easter for your life today. You don't have to live stuck on Friday with darkness and death. Jesus can flip the switch in your life, and you can live on Sunday where the sun shines again and where Jesus is alive. You can experience right now in your life, in your situation, in this moment, darkness overcome by light, and death overcome by life. Let me say it again so you don't miss it. Easter is about light overcoming darkness. And Easter is about life overcoming death. Now, let me tell you what that doesn't mean. That doesn't mean that in this world there's never darkness. And that doesn't mean that in this world there's never death. It just means that because of Easter Sunday, because of resurrection power, Jesus flipped the switch on darkness and death. And now darkness is overwhelmed by the light, and death is overcome by light. And that's why, look at me, you don't have to spend another moment of your life feeling stuck back there on a Friday. You can live the rest of your life with the light and life that comes from living on Sunday. Jesus can flip the switch for you. A couple years ago, I heard about this place in our country. It's called Death Valley, and I'm not talking about the football stadium for those of us on the East Coast. Death Valley, California is what I'm talking about. It earned its name because it's the hottest, driest place in our nation. In fact, I think I have a picture of it just to show you. This is what Death Valley, California looks like. It's ugly. It's barren. It's dry. Nothing grows there. It's not a place that any of us would want to be. It's a picture of what it looks like to be stuck on Friday. But several years ago, in December of 2004, a weather pattern happened in Death Valley, California that had never occurred there before. And over the course of just a few days, it rained over 6 inches in Death Valley, California. Now, as you might expect, nothing really happened overnight. There was no immediate signs that anything had really changed. But over time, in fact, by Easter of 2005, by the spring, let me show you what that exact same desert floor looked like. Check this out. Yeah. You see, what they didn't realize, watch this now. What they didn't realize is that Death Valley wasn't dead. It was just dormant. That beneath the surface of Death Valley, beneath what was dry and cracked and ugly and barren, beneath the surface of what looked so ugly were some seeds just waiting for a resurrection day. All it needed was a moment. All it needed was for something to flip the switch, to take it from death to life, from darkness to light, from Friday to Sunday. And I believe that beneath the surface of your life, beneath the surface of your Friday, beneath the surface of your messed up marriage, beneath the surface of your depression, beneath the surface of your anxiety, beneath the surface of your mistakes, sir, beneath the surface of your hurt and your pain and your fear, beneath the surface of your life, I believe there are seeds of greatness just waiting for a moment in time. Just waiting for the switch to get flipped. Just waiting to blossom and grow. Just waiting to take you from Friday to Sunday. From darkness to light. From death to life. And I know you would expect for me to say that today because I'm the preacher, right? So I thought you might want to hear it from some of my friends who have had the switch flipped in their life by Jesus. They've experienced life change because of him. Why don't you check out their stories?
My name is Ariana, and before I became a Christ follower, my life was spiraling out of control. I was getting in trouble with the law. I had a drinking problem and faced serious depression where I tried to take my own life. I can say now, after walking into Water's Edge Church just last year, my life is forever changed once I gave my life to God. The miracles He's done in my life. I have no addiction issues anymore. I'm happy again. All thanks to God, and I'm truly, truly, truly thankful for the Water's Edge community for opening my eyes to seeing the love that He has for me.
Hi, I'm Curtis. My story starts off with growing up. I was bullied a lot to the point where I didn't feel like anybody really cared for me. I felt worthless to really anybody. It got to the point where that if I wasn't being made fun of, I had to tear myself down just to make sure I felt normal. It got so bad, but my senior year of high school, actually, it all changed around when a friend of mine invited me to church. And through the bunch of programs through them, I really got to actually meet Jesus. And I learned that I am somebody. And because of that and through Jesus, I got to be the me that God wanted me to be. And I found my joy and energy in life through Him.
My name is Alexis Guido, and about 5 months ago, I lost my brother in a tragic car accident. My brother was the light of my family and was that one person I could run to and knew exactly what I was going through. And I know the Lord cannot take away this pain or reality that I suffer from, but I do know that with Him in my life, He turns all bad things into great things. And gaining my relationship with Jesus Christ through Water's Edge Church 7 years ago has empowered me to cast all my adversities onto someone that is greater than the entire universe.
Hi, my name is Marie. Nearly 20 years ago, after a failed suicide attempt, I walked away from church and I walked away from God because I was so sure that He had forgotten me. 3 years ago, I received an invitation to Water's Edge, and the people of Water's Edge reminded me of what a faithful God we serve. They met me right where I was in the middle of my hurt and in the middle of my anger. Jesus left the 99 to find the one in me, and I am so happy I can share that with you.
I'm Brian. This is my wife, Mary. We've been married for a little over a year.
About 2 months into our marriage, my husband's appendix burst and he landed in the hospital. We shortly found out that he was diagnosed with a tumor inside that appendix, a carcinoid cancer tumor, which is the most deadly, and all of those cells had seeped into his abdomen. Our first choice was to follow our faith, where we landed in Water's Edge with our campus pastor praying outside in the hallway after a really deep sermon that led us to get some help.
We have no doubt that through our church group and through Water's Edge Church and a lot of prayers that through our prayer of faith of family, that 6 months later I was diagnosed as cancer-free, which is a miracle in itself, and we have no thought whatsoever that it was God intervening on our behalf.
The nurses' faces, the doctors' faces were always looking at us with pity. The statistics were a 14% chance of living. Even the people who were in our newly found group, the nurses the ones that attended Water's Edge could not believe that this was actually happening. And every step of our journey, we know that God had a hand in it, and so did Water's Edge.
Let your glory shine. Let the whole world see you are alive in me. Yeah.
My name is Scott, and I walked away from my faith over 30 years ago. The world didn't make sense to me, and I just blamed God when terrible things happened. From there, I pursued worldly success and achieved a large number of my goals, but I never really felt like it was enough. Eventually, life and anxiety became more than I could handle, and fortunately, I discovered that God was still patiently waiting for me. A friend of mine and neighbor invited me to a service at Water's Edge, and that same day, I joined a group, and it was filled with the most amazing people that have turned into some really good friends. Our weekly discussions really helped me develop a relationship with Jesus. It gave me the strength I was missing and a sense of peace that I had never known before. God's love does not have a time limit.
Hi, I am Amber, and this is my daughter Braylon. Throughout stages of my life, I have strayed far from my faith. That led me to unchecked emotions, hardships in relationships, and pain. Sometimes it is those most heartbreaking challenges that lead us back to God. Water's Edge Church has reignited my faith. While some of those stressors and challenges still exist, I have an internal peace and comfort that I know only comes through my relationship with Jesus Christ. And my daughter has already built such a strong foundation in faith, and it's my prayer that she never strays from that foundation. We love Water's Edge Church, and we are stronger with God.
Today, if you feel stuck on Friday, then you can live your life on Sunday, because Jesus can flip the switch for you. And that's what Easter really is all about. It's why Jesus died and why he rose again. In fact, I believe that this exact moment is precisely the reason why God led you to tune in to this experience, because I want to invite many of you now to receive Jesus Christ and to begin a personal relationship with him, to invite him to flip the switch for you, to take you from the darkness and death of Friday to the light and life of Easter Resurrection Sunday. You know who you are already, because for these last few moments, it's almost as if I'm talking directly to you. We're separated by a screen and camera right now, but it's almost felt as if I'm sitting across the table from you in your kitchen, and that's nothing to do with me. That's everything to do with the God of this universe who loves you so much that He's customized and personalized this message for your life. He wants you to say yes today to His Son, Jesus Christ. So can I invite you right now, just right where you sit, would you bow your heads? Would you close your eyes? And would you open your heart to Jesus? And if you're ready to move from the darkness of Friday to the light of Sunday, from the death of Friday to the life of Sunday, if you're ready to live your life on Sunday and say yes to Jesus, then I want you to pray this very simple little prayer with me, straight from your heart. You don't even have to say the words out loud. God loves you so much, He's listening right now to your heart. And you can just say this: Jesus, I want to know you. I want my sin forgiven by you. I want to be made right with God in heaven through you. I want to live my life for you. So come into my life. Flip the switch. Take me from Friday to Sunday, from death to life, from darkness to light. Be my personal Lord and Savior. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen. Would you look this way? If you just prayed that prayer with me, that is what Easter Sunday truly is all about. And I celebrate you, and not just me, but literally thousands of Water's Edge family members from all over the world celebrate you today. You can give some virtual high fives, you can give some fist bump emojis, some hallelujah hands, even if you want to, because we're celebrating what God has done on this Easter Sunday in the lives of so many people. And if you did just pray that prayer with me, we want to know it. I want to be able to celebrate with you and help you take a next step. And in just a few moments, my friend Damaris is going to tell you how you can let us know that you made that all-important Easter decision today. She's also going to tell you how you can be more involved as a part of our Water's Edge family. And she's going to tell you about the incredible difference that your generosity is making during this challenging time in our cities, in our communities, and even in our world. But before I throw it back to her, I want to just tell you one more time how much I love you, how honored I am that we've celebrated this Easter together, and how much I still believe that the best is yet to come in your life and for our church. Thanks for spending Easter today with us. We love you. Have a great time. Now take it away, Damaris.
Well, what an incredible Easter service. In times like these, it's so good to remember that there is hope in Jesus and that He is here for us. Now listen, if you prayed that prayer with Pastor Stu, saying yes to Jesus today, we want to know that so we can celebrate with you. So you can fill out the digital connection card that's in the comments and let us know that you began a relationship with Jesus today. And if you're new to Water's Edge, stick around for just a minute longer because we have something special for you. Well, we never like to end an experience without giving you an opportunity to respond to God through giving. Hundreds of lives were changed today because of your generous giving. In fact, your church is making a big difference in our communities in the midst of COVID-19. We've been able to meet the needs of over 165 people over the past 3 weeks, and a lot of that has been because of your generosity. And if you want to partner with us financially and help us bring change to people's lives, there's 2 ways you can do that. The first way is to go to watersedgechurch.net, or you can text WECO to the number 77977. Now, if you're new to Water's Edge, your next step is to attend the virtual Zoom call that we like to call the Blue Room. You'll get the opportunity to meet some staff and have any of your questions answered. So just click the link that's in the comments and join us in our Blue Room. You can go ahead and hop over to that right now. Gosh, I'm so glad that you joined us today. Happy Easter, everybody.